Alright, so this is just going to be a basic review on the different types of 4x4 cubes that I like to use. Lots of people use these three, so these are the ones I'm going to go over today. The ones mainly used by speed cubers, these two, and the beginners will mainly use the Rubik's brand, but I mean, when I learned how to solve Rubik's Cubes, I always tended to use the Rubik's brand cubes first. I don't know why either, because it just, I don't know, like the Rubik's Cube brand cubes are good, but I think you start getting these when you start going faster and you want to speed solve, so I think that's mainly why you switch over to these two. This one is good if you don't care about speed solving and you just want to solve the cube, then that's fine. You could stick with this. But if you want to speed solve, you definitely want to use one of these two because they're a lot more efficient with like cutting corners, and just like the general form is a lot better. I'll start from the worst to the best, but this is a regular Rubik's brand, a regular 4x4, and as you can see, I've lubed this cube so many times that it might seem amazing to you, but in reality, when I'm solving this and I'm trying to go fast, like, it locks up a lot, and if it doesn't lock up, it's popping all over the place. Like, I've had this cube for like less than a year, maybe like a few months, and whenever I solve it, it tends to pop already, and that's not really good. Like, so I don't know if it's just because I lube it so much. I really don't think I lubed it that much, but I don't know. It's just really, like, I've lubed it so much, as you can see, that it kind of overturns. Like, it does more than a full turn. Or more than half a turn, fourth of a turn. However much I want to go, it overturns. But this cube isn't that bad. Like, here, if you want to see the core of a regular 4x4, it's kind of dirty, but sorry. I haven't used this cube in forever, it's kind of dusty. But like the inside's like a ball, there's like holes in it. To go over the other types of cubes. So that's the original 4x4 Rubik's brand. You can get this one anywhere, like the Rubik's store online, some game store, puzzle store, whatever. They're everywhere, but I don't like to use this when I'm speed solving. Next one is the Eachine 4x4. This one I got off of Cube For You. The first thing I noticed when I bought this is, besides that it's white, like, that's normal if you cube a lot, but, okay, it has a black face, that's obvious. Instead of an orange face, opposite the red, it has a purple face. See how that's purple? So it's got a different color scheme, but it's not that bad to adjust to. Just know that instead of orange, there's purple. So this cube is, I haven't lubed it actually since I bought it, so I should probably do that soon, but see how it has a very scratchy sound? That's the one thing I don't like about the Eachine 4x4, and that's the one reason why I don't use it that much. I know it's a dumb reason, but it just, when you hear that a lot, it just sounds annoying. So, yeah, I don't use it a lot, but in terms of this cube, it still locks up, but it doesn't lock up as much as the Rubik's brand. It just seems maybe like that, just because I haven't lubed it yet, but it doesn't lock up as much, and it doesn't pop. It hasn't popped for me yet, so I like that. Compared to the Rubik's brand, it's like half a cube less than the 4x4 Rubik's brand. So it's a little bit smaller. It's easier to hold in your hands. By 4x4s, out of all the 4x4s, the Yixin 4x4, I believe, I think it's the smallest. And you can kind of tell that by the camera. So yeah, Yixin 4x4. The only thing I don't like about the Yixin 4x4 is if you take it apart, the pieces are just a tad bit more intricate than a regular Rubik's 4x4 or even the Meffert's 4x4, but it's still like understandable. It's still like fairly comprehensible, so you could still get it. I use the Yixin 4x4 once in a while, but not as much as I do with the Meffert's. The Meffert's cube, I've actually lubed it this time. My unboxing video, I didn't lube it in there, obviously, but see, as you can tell, it goes a lot smoother. It does not overturn itself. Like, barely overturns itself. It moves really smoothly. In terms of cutting corners, by far, it's one of the best 4x4s that cuts corners. Not too much, but like it still cuts corners like well. Like, can't really, yeah. So cuts corners nicely. In terms of sound, it's got a relatively more desirable sound. It's a lot smoother. Instead of that annoying sound. But yeah, the Meffert's cube is really nice. Like, it's one of my favorite cubes to use. The first thing I noticed about the Meffert's is if you look up closely, the tiles are bigger. They like stick out. And I actually kind of like this because it's nice when you're solving, because it feels like there's more of a grip, especially when you're speed solving, which is why I think this is one of the best cubes to use while speed solving, because it's got a good grip, and they're textured tiles too. You probably can't tell that by the camera, but there's somewhat of a texture to the Cleffert's cube. There's a Meffert's cube too, but I don't really use that. I heard it's a crappier version of this Cleffert's cube, so I just ordered this Cleffert's cube off of Cube For You, and it was like $13 or something, but I definitely think it was worth it. Like, whenever I'm using a 4x4, I'm mainly, if I'm speed cubing, I'm using this one, the Cleffert's cube, because the Meffert's cube is my favorite. So out of the basic 4x4 cubes, I like to use the Meffert's 4x4 cube, but everybody has their preferences. These are just mine, and this is a basic overview of the different types of 4x4 cubes. I hope this somewhat helped you. So yeah, you can order all of these off of Cube For You, or the Rubik's brand. I know you could buy that like almost anywhere. So yeah, it's a basic overview of the 3 different types of 4x4 cubes.